Start the show. The Good Life with DT. It's Nicole. Welcome to the Good Life.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. Good Life. These boys are crazy.
You are now listening to the Good Life Podcast.
Good Life. What?
What's up, Coley?
What's up, DT? How you doing?
Chilling, brother, chilling. How are you?
Back to being healthy again.
I know, dude. You've been sick as a dog.
I know, but I can't be in this small room and not be healthy. Sorry, guys. No, I'm good to go. Now it's allergy season. Let's see how we pull this off.
Dude. So we've been talking for like a year about how we wanted to do something for the community and get involved with charities and whatnot. And today we got some dudes from a charity with us. It's the first time we get to talk to somebody about this.
Yeah, this is exciting. So we have in here Mustache for Kids. Why don't you guys introduce yourself and what you're all about?
Sure. So thanks for having us, guys. This is awesome. My name is Brian Moore. I'm the president of Mustaches for Kids Omaha. Gentlemen, you introduce yourselves. You're with me.
My name is Noé Guardado, and I'm the current Sweetest Stash.
We got to go back to what that means.
Right.
We'll get there.
And I'm Corey Leslie. I'm the current most fundraisingist.
And look at his jacket. Explain this big, green, massive jacket that you're wearing. It's almost like a blazer, and it says Selleck Society on it.
Yeah. Do you want to cover that one? Or you want me to?
Yeah, I mean, we can get into. We got a lot of weird things we can talk about today. This is basically a traveling trophy for Mustaches for Kids. The guy who raises the most money in May gets the green jacket for most fundraisingist. It's our, I would argue, the best of all the Stashy awards.
You're not biased. Though.
Second best.
And whoever wins it wears it for a year, wears it to all our events. I wore it for 2 years. As you guys can see, your listeners can't see, but I'm neither big nor tall, and that is a big and tall jacket there. It's never been dry cleaned. It doesn't have any buttons on it. I think it came from a Goodwill about 16 years ago.
Yeah, you said traveling trophy. That blazer's like going down to your knees, dude. I mean, I first met Corey. I was like, wow, he's got a really interesting style. What is going on with this?
For people listening that can't see, we'll take a picture.
Yeah.
We'll get a picture at this end so you can see what we're talking about. So
It's like a survival vest almost. I could sleep in this thing. It'd be like a pop-up tent.
Right. Yeah, it's like you're wearing a sleeping bag. That's what it is.
So how did this all start? Exactly what is it? I guess let's kind of dig into what is it exactly? What is Mustaches for Kids?
Sure. So Mustaches for Kids Omaha is a local chapter of a national charity called Mustaches for Kids America. Mustaches for Kids America. That started in, I think, 1999 out in L.A., and a few years in, a guy that we call the Stash Father, Adam Perez, caught wind of it, and he said, that sounds like fun. I'd like to do that. And so he got a bunch of his knucklehead friends together to grow mustaches and raise money for kids' charities. And essentially the idea was, hey, we can go out every Thursday and drink beer, and our wives have to let us because it's for kids.
Well played.
Genius, yeah.
Yeah, that is brilliant. So what kind of charities does this money that you guys raise go towards?
Yeah, so we pick a different charity every single year. For the first, I'd say 12 years or so, we'd pick one charity. And when we were smaller, we'd pick small charities. And so our money would make a big, huge impact. And then as we've gotten bigger and bigger, we kind of realized we couldn't really pick these small charities anymore. So we've been picking bigger and bigger charities.
Well, not by themselves anyway.
Well, and then in 2020, we did a virtual campaign, and it was the first time we picked multiple charities because there were a bunch of charities in Omaha that needed money just to kind of keep their doors open. And so we picked 8 charities. We called them the M4K8. And that year, we split the money amongst all these kind of smaller charities. And since then, we've decided, hey, we can divvy this out in different fun ways. So sometimes we'll pick 2 big charities and 3 or 4 smaller, what we call bonus charities. This year we picked 3 big charities and 4 bonus charities. And we haven't decided quite how we're going to divvy that up. But usually it's games of chance or something else fun.
So are you guys raising like thousands of dollars, millions of dollars? Like, how does this all work?
So I'll back up. About 5 years into growing, Mustaches for Kids Omaha surpassed the New York chapter as the biggest chapter in the country. That was kind of our big landmark moment. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And 2 years ago, we raised over $1 million.
Wow.
In 30
Just out of the
days.
Omaha one.
Wait, you said in 30 days
In
you
30
raised $1
days.
million?
That's right. Last year, we broke the record again, $1.1 million for just last year in 30 days. And to put that in perspective, the first 30 guys that did this, 16 years ago, their goal was to raise $1,500 and just beat the Iowa chapter, which had raised $1,500.
Right. Wow.
And those guys the first year raised, I think, $23,000.
23,000, yeah. The dirty 30.
The dirty 30.
I love the names, dude. I love all the puns they have.
And I mean, they just were blown away. They're like, this is the biggest amount of money we could have imagined. And so they did it again. And you've been doing it for how long, Corey?
This will be my 11th year. doing it.
And so when you started, how much did we raise?
I want to say we raised something like 250,000, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and I think my first year we were like 278 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this is outrageous. How the hell are we doing this? And then just, this is my 9th year. 8 short years later, we're well over $1 million.
And you guys are volunteering your time, or is this your full-time job?
No, we're skimming off the top. No, it's all volunteer ran. So I'm president of the board. There's 6 members of our board, and we kind of plan the events and do kind of the backroom boring stuff. But then we have around 300 guys that just volunteer their time by growing a mustache. They all have different ways of raising money. Most guys just ask their friends and family, hey, do you got an extra $20 to donate to my mustache? Other guys like Corey go all out, and he's got flyers and dodgeball tournaments and corporate sponsors. And some of those guys go all out and raise a bunch of money, but nobody's getting paid. This is just for fun mostly. And for some reason, it raises money too.
And you're doing it for the kids, and you can't ask much more than that. And Corey, I'm looking at this. You have a flyer for the 2nd annual trampoline dodgeball tournament. Okay, dodgeball within itself at our age, that's something. I mean,
Facts.
But now that you're on a
team
trampoline,
dodgeball. Yeah, it's a team dodgeball tournament.
a team dodgeball tournament on it. It's all on a trampoline. Who's going to die first?
Over under. Last year would have been me. I came pretty close, but
Do you actually play in the green blazer, the traveling trophy?
Well, last year I didn't have it. This is the first year I won it, so I didn't have. I have to look at maybe doing that this year though. Yeah.
But you convince people to get on a trampoline and play dodgeball in teams. How do you sway people to do this?
I mean, they're convincing people to donate $1 million.
Right.
Dude. Getting on the trampoline, throwing a ball is a little bit easier, I think.
Right. Well, you just take them out to the bar, get them drinks, start talking about dodgeball, the movie or whatever, and how much fun would that be? And like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a dodgeball tournament. You want to go? And,
On a trampoline.
Yeah, on a trampoline. They're like, yeah, let's do it. So I mean, that's one thing I love. Like as Brian mentioned, we kind of have the freedom to do what we want, obviously within reason, nothing that's going to bring any negativity to the charity, but we have the freedom to do whatever we want. So each year, just try to capitalize on new ideas and new opportunities and try to get as many people involved and aware of what Mustaches for Kids are. So
I think it's great, man. Yeah. And the first time I found them was near my house at a Don and Millie's, and they were doing a car wash out in Speedos.
Oh.
And turns out, Noe, who I work with, I was talking at work about it, and he's like, oh, yeah, that was us. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And he kind of filled me in on everything. And I was like, dude, they do such silly, cool things, man. That
Right.
it's hard not to donate.
I can see
to
David
it.
in a Speedo at Donna Millie's.
Dude.
It was pretty fun. We had a pretty decent turnout that day. But from that, we have guys that for every donation, you can tell them what to eat. This guy's eating a live tarantula.
What?
Yes. But
Somebody ate a live tarantula?
yes.
I think it was a dried tarantula.
Dried. Well, it might be dried. Sorry. I'm
I'll
just.
say.
but still, as a tarantula, you had no problem
Yes.
eating that at all.
Yes. But everybody finds their way of like doing silly things. I'll post like silly videos throughout the month of May. I'll do silly challenges, and everybody has their own way of raising the money.
We'll be back after a quick break.
The Good Life Podcast with DT and Spicoli, proud to be partnered up with Sharf Painting. Over 16 years experience and family owned for 3. Put trusted hands on your interior and exterior painting needs. With summertime around the corner, have Sharf power wash your deck, stain your fence, and get 10% off. Now's the time to get outdoor ready. Sharf Painting. Reach out to them on Facebook for a bid. Sharf Painting LLC. That's SCHARFF Painting LLC. Or Sharf Painting sharppainting@gmail.com. You can also call 402-637-9342.
Yeah, none of the things we just talked about are officially sponsored by the Mustaches for Kids Board of Directors.
Gotta have Pete out here on us. You guys are here eating animals in Don and Billy's parking lots.
R.I.P. to our podcast. You guys coming after us.
Well, turns out the charities was going to get us canceled, Spicoli.
We're trying to do this for good.
All the guests we've had on that we've had to edit out, Mustache for Kids comes on and we're canceled, bro.
Like you said, live tarantula, they ate it.
Oh, that's great, man. So what's the? I guess so. When does it start? I mean, how do people donate? How do people join Mustache for Kids? Let's kind of get into that.
Sure. So our clean shave kickoff party, Cinco de Mustache, which is very seldom actually on Cinco de Mayo, it's the first Thursday of May.
Okay.
It's our clean shave kickoff. We shave down. You can see I've got a beard most of the year. We all shave down completely clean, no sideburns, no chops, nothing, completely clean. And we all get together at a bar. This year it's going to be at Brewski's in Millard. And that's kind of where we introduce our charities to our growers, introduce the new guys to Mustaches for Kids, kind of explain to them how to do this. Everybody knows how to shave and grow a mustache. We show them how to turn it into dollars. And really it's an excuse again to get out and drink beer with our friends.
I got to ask, has anybody joined that couldn't grow the mustache? And what happens when that happens?
So we'll talk about the Stashy Awards at the end here. One of our Stashy Awards goes to the nastiest stash.
Oh, okay.
And in many ways, that's the guy who sacrifices the most for our cause, as he walks around for 30 days with a terrible mustache. So yeah, there's a ton of guys that can't grow mustaches. That's usually somebody's excuse not to do it. Is, I can't grow a mustache. Nobody really cares what your mustache looks like. It's a
conversation starter at the very least, right?
Right.
Why are you growing a mustache? And it just basically gives you a starting point to talk to people about what you're doing, what the causes are and how they can help. So.
Philanthropy is our sex appeal.
Yes.
Could you imagine if some dude walked in and, hey, I'm raising money to grow a mustache for kids, and like, you don't have a mustache, though, be like, don't worry about that part. Don't worry about
Just worry about donating, all right?
We need the money, son.
Now, is it just specifically for guys, or have you got women involved too?
A lot of women involved. They're obviously not growing mustaches, but
not professional anyway.
But they could draw one on, maybe. They could. I mean,
yeah, we have a ladies support group called Ladies of M4K, and my wife is really involved. Corey's wife, Noe's girlfriend, they're all really involved. They get together. There's lots of opportunities for them to volunteer and help with what we do. Frankly, my wife raises kind of more money than I do when we're doing this. She's the hustler. She's the brains.
Yeah, so it's like the challenge is on, like who can raise more. And plus, she also needs an excuse to get out and drink as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, I think 16 years ago, were looking for an excuse to get out by themselves and drink. I think the younger generation, we actually like our wives, so we bring them. They like to party with us, and so... Yeah, I mean, a lot of our wives and girlfriends have become best friends just by being connected through Mustaches for Kids.
That's awesome, man. So so people come out on May 1st that want to join up then at Brewski's?
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
That'd be the first time they can come out and get to know us. But they register beforehand. We would like them to anyway. They go to m4komaha.com. There's a big button on the homepage. It says, I think, click to be grower. There's a typo that we haven't fixed for several years.
It's part of the charm.
Part of the charm.
Yeah.
But you click that and they register. We ask everybody to pay a $25 stash tax. That covers their T-shirt and their swag and just kind of some of our overhead. And then from there, they'll get a personal fundraising page where they can share the link with all their friends. And it's just as easy as clicking there and send in a donation.
Yeah, it tracks all your totals, lets you know what you made for that day or for that week, who all your donors are, so you can go back the next year too and reach back out to those folks and start to put together your list, basically.
So how do you get the traveling trophy? How do we get that green blazer that's down to your knees away from you?
Well,
from his cold, dead figure.
Yeah, basically. So Brian and I have been in a rivalry, I guess you call it, for the last 3 years. This, I guess, really going on the 4th year, where we've been battling for the jacket. He bested me for 2 years. I was able to best him last year with raising a little over 38,000, 38.8, something like that. The year before was crazy. We both raised over $53,000. He beat me by $500.
Oh, snap.
Jeez Louise.
So Chris or Corey finished second, as we like to call the loser.
Yes. If you're not first, you're
last.
not first.
But really, raising $53,000 isn't the goal for most of these guys.
No.
It's not the goal we're setting for these guys. We're really into it and we're competitive and we like to do it and it's fun. But really the goal we're setting for most guys is $1,000.
Right.
You reach that level, we call it the Select Society level. And if you can raise $1,000, you're inducted into our society. We've got a swearing in ceremony and you swear to be awesome at all times and in all places for the rest of your life. And there's sweet perks to that. Free parking at our events if you get there early enough.
Right.
You get there early. Everything.
There's we'll put like a red rope kind of in the corner of the bar that's the Select Society Lounge.
Right.
Really kind of mocking the whole.
Right. Do you guys have like a special big special chair where like the guy who's wearing the green blazer gets to sit? I think that could be the next thing.
I think we need to do that.
A king needs his crown.
Yes, like
I guess
the Game of Thrones chair,
Yeah,
dude.
you need one of those.
With mustaches instead of swords.
Now, now since you got two most fundraisingist here, we're talking a lot about the fundraising. That's not the biggest Stashy award.
No.
I'm going to be honest. The real King trophy is the Magnum, and that goes to our sweetest stash.
That's no way.
Oh, no way.
is
Look
no
at
way.
his stash.
And so that one we give it away at the Stash Bash at the end of the year. We have it at the Slowdown, and it's really a combination of costume party, the Oscars, and a Miss America pageant all rolled into one. And the winner of that gets the Magnum and the sweetest stash.
Yeah, it's the best night you never remember. But yeah,
Been there.
Yeah, you won too many times for David Taylor.
Si, senor.
So if we were to have a throne for someone, it would be for Noe and the sweetest.
Yeah.
Sweetest stash. What's the trick to growing the sweetest stash?
So it's actually not growing the mustache. It's like the miscongeniality of mustaches. So you kind of get up on stage and you tell them why you're there. And the worst part is they'll ask you some random question about what's the weather like this morning. And then you just got to tell your story.
It's like improv up there?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And like the guys that won it before, some have won it by growing a double mustache. One guy had a mustache on his face and then shave a mustache on his chest.
Talent. That takes talent. Not a lot of people can do
Another
that.
guy won it by getting that tattoo of our logo.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever it takes.
Yes.
Diehards.
Right.
You guys do more than just raise money though. So like you guys were like out last year handing out lunches and stuff to kids and all sorts of stuff, right? So it's not just you guys just don't go out and raise money. You do stuff for actually like the community too.
So
yeah?
as growers, we always like getting involved with the actual charities. We obviously give them the money, but we always like to volunteer. So last year we had complete kits and they invited us to do to pack lunches, and we did almost over 500 lunches in an hour that we packed. Years before, we had a basketball game with Red Dogs of Nebraska, and they're wheelchair basketball, and they kicked our butts. 8 to 32.
Oh my goodness.
Snap.
But
We had Ryan Kalkbrenner on our team that year. A
Yes.
freshman Ryan Kalkbrenner who just got absolutely destroyed by these middle schoolers. But we like to think we rubbed off on him a little bit. He's won three defensive players of the year since we kind of showed him the ropes.
so even the money, we only raise it on the 30 days. We still like to be involved throughout the year, helping as much as we can.
That's awesome, man. What can the Good Life podcast do to help you guys out?
Well, we really just want to recruit guys right now. We're not real worried about raising money just yet. We're spending the month of April just trying to recruit. And so we want to tell guys how much fun this is. And so we really just want people to know about the registration page, how to get involved.
Come check us out.
Check us out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then people can just sign up in advance, just go into your website, and then come out on May 2nd to Brewski's.
Yes.
That's right. And then
How
from-
intimidating is it, though? Like, do they have to show up, like, with a mustache, with a clean shaved? What should they do when they show up?
So here are the rules. We should really talk about
Yeah,
the
let's
rules.
talk about the rules.
Because there's only two. Grow a mustache and raise some money. But the way that works is the first day you're clean shaven. So May 2nd, completely clean shaven when you come. And then we'll have a checkpoint every Thursday at a different bar throughout the month of May.
That's where the drinking comes in.
That's where the drinking comes in. And so we have a trivia night. We have the Mustache Melee, which is really kind of the best checkpoint, I think. It's a bunch of bar games, kind of minute to win it type stuff.
Kind of like March Madness, 16 bet guys going at each other.
There you go.
And you get a bracket and all that stuff. It's pretty fun.
And then we have a Magnum PI night, just a Hawaiian shirt night. And then Stash Bash is the first Saturday of June. I think June 1st this year.
Yes.
And that's when you go over all the totals of how much everybody raised?
Yep. So our fundraising will end the Friday before Stash Bash. And so at Stash Bash, we don't raise $1. It's not a charity event. It's not one of these lame galas where you've already donated $100 to get in the door, and then they're hitting you up for more money. We're literally just saying thank you to the guys. It's a costume party. Some of these guys will plan their costume like 4 years in advance.
Oh, some of them go full out.
Yeah, and
it's.
I'll get a text in the middle of February, and they'll be like, "Thank God, my part from China finally came in." Stash Bash. I was getting nervous it was going to be here in time. And then we announced the total. We give away the Stashy Awards. There are many of them. There's the nastiest stash, most testosterone,
Best name,
best mustache, name.
sexiest company.
Oh, you got to name your mustache.
You have to name
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's part of the rules.
What's
Okay.
some of the names? What's some of the names?
My name is Rico Suave.
My mustache name is the People's Champion.
And mine is Turd Ferguson. It's a funny name.
I saw that on your coat, and I was like, why Turd Ferguson? Oh, the mustache.
Yeah, some guys pick a new name every single year, and they try to win that stashy. Other guys, after they've been doing it for a while, just realize it's part of their brand and just keep their name long term. I think you've been Rico Suave the whole time, right?
Just my first year, I didn't have it. First year, newbie, not knowing what to do, I just named it Penelope. Didn't hit, barely raised $1,000. But then I was like, oh, I got a brand. Got an exposure out there, and then I just picked Rico Suave, and I just stuck with it. This will be my 8th year. So it's just grown from that.
And how many people are in this group?
So in any given year, we'll get around 300 to 350 guys register. You really have a little over 200 that are actively involved. I think we had over 200 guys raise at least $1,000 last year. And so there's kind of a core group, but it's I'd say 300 of us. But
That's awesome.
Another cool thing as far as with the mustache names too, if you can't think of one, or as a new guy you're like, I'm not sure what would work or what's acceptable, you can request when you sign up that the board makes a name for you or creates a name for you, and they'll announce those at Clean Shave what your name is for your mustache.
we have the royal reading of the names.
Yes.
And we'll just kind of pull one of the funny names we came up with. That's how I got my first mustache name. My first year, I didn't know what I was getting into. I said, sure, name my mustache. And I was Ron Mexico.
That's right. My first year, I did the same thing, and mine was Stash Gordon.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
I mean, the names, you're around a bunch of dudes, so obviously the names are going to be special. And
yeah. And there's some guys just by their mustache name.
You don't even know their real names.
Called up their aliases all the time.
Yeah, I don't know Strip Club Cheeseburger's real name. I have no idea.
That's true. Cheeseburger.
And that was one that he actually had the reading of the names. That's where he got it. He's kept it ever since.
Yes, I mean that's a dynamite.
It's like a
name.
demented version of Hogwarts when the hat picks people for the houses, dude. It's a little nerd joke for you.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you, DT.
You're welcome. I'm here for you, buddy.
But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of really dumb, fun traditions that go over everybody's head. We realize when we're in this setting, we use a bunch of terms that you guys probably don't have a clue what we're talking about, like Select Society and Grower and being a 5th year, that kind of thing. It's really, at its heart, it's a fraternity for adults.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I got the fraternity vibes, but it's not like very fraternity vibes. It feels like just fun going out. You're doing something for the kids. You're having fun growing a mustache. And it's only 30 days. So it doesn't sound like it's a big time commitment for those who are like worried about, how much time do I got to invest into this and how often am I going to be gone? So it sounds like, something that's very achievable for a lot of people to get, inspired to do.
Well, dude, like 300 people raising over $1 million. That's crazy.
That's
insane,
big time,
dude.
And a big part of it too, honestly, is the camaraderie. Really, I mean, you go out there. Yeah, there's a sense of competitiveness, like for us and stuff like that. But in general, the guys we just generally love hanging out with each other. It's the fundraising that kind of brings us together. But then as you get to know, I mean, these guys are my brothers now. You know, it's you build those kind of relationships, and that's what brings guys back.
It's awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
You gonna do it? You want to sign up? Can you grow a mustache?
Not very well, but I would probably have to be like,
have an
hey,
award
can
for
I
you.
get some help on the? Can I get an assist on the mustache name?
I can't even clean shave. My wife will leave me. It's my makeup, bro.
It's my makeup.
Do you guys have
bro.
anybody run into that problem?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, my wife won't let me shave.
Yeah, there's guys like that. Yeah.
So,
You know, some guys are like, oh, either my wife or my girlfriend won't let me shave, and we say, well, one of them will let you shave. Dump the other one.
so my first year dating my girlfriend, I was like, hey, we started dating in February, and I was like, hey, in May I do this charity event. I kind of go all out, costumes, things like that. Be prepared.
Yeah.
So I showed up at her house, clean shaved. She threw the door at my face. And she's like, who are you? And I was like, I told you I was getting ready for clean shave. And she's like, but that's not until tomorrow. And I'm like, I just got to prep you.
I've seen some of the outfits you've worn. So that's a good question. So how did she react the first time she saw you in one of your costumes?
So
Talk about some of your costumes so people know what I'm talking about.
So probably our first costume comes in at Magnum PI night. So Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, old detective in Hawaii. So he was usually wearing Hawaiian shirts and shorts. So imagine,
Yes.
200 guys in Hawaiian shirts, most of them in shorts. We used to meet up before a pipeline, so all of them would walk down 72nd Street and take a big picture. This year, last couple of years, we changed locations, but that was like her first mustache event was Magnum PI night. And just like seeing all these Hawaiian shirts.
That's a 10-10 look right there.
Dude.
Yes.
One of our favorite things is when we're at Magnum PI night and some of the civilians come in, just coming to get a drink with their friends, and they walk in and see 200 dudes with mustaches and Hawaiian shirts, and sometimes we're like racing in wheelchairs in the parking lot or something. But to watch them walk in, look around, and say, "Nope, I'm out," and just leave.
You imagine college kids walking, we're going to have the best time of our life, and walking a pipeline with a bunch of dudes wearing Daisy Dukes.
What kind of place is the pipeline?
Some of them end up joining. Some of them become next donation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come get a drink with us.
Yeah, let me tell you about Mustache for Kids.
Then the second costume she saw me, she actually helped made. I actually dressed up as Post Malone that year for Stash Bash.
That was a good one.
So
Nice.
she actually drew on my face all the tattoos.
Oh my gosh.
And we're walking down downtown Omaha. My buddy dressed up as Ginger Spice. So we were a celeb couple. And people at one of the bars down there were just like staring at us. And I'm like, it is what it is. My first year, I dressed up as Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I saw that one.
And that was like one of my favorite costumes. But I was in in like fake leather shorts.
Oh, no.
But hey, people are starting looking and they're like, oh, I see it.
I would like to just spend a day and look in his closet, dude. Why do you have so
tubs.
many of these short
Tubs.
shorts?
Oh yeah, you don't get rid of that stuff because you
Right.
can recycle that.
Yep.
A couple years ago, I did Men at Arms from He-Man.
Oh, okay.
So the actual like bodysuit, I had somebody make it like in their 3D printer.
Yeah.
And he spent like 2 months and he was like, this is just for you. And I was like, thank you.
We're talking, you need to dress up as like the head guy from Reno 911.
That's been done.
Has it? I figured it with the short shorts.
That
Skates and everything.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
New boots.
Yeah. My wife bought a hat at an estate sale this morning just because she's like, someone can use this for a Stash Bash costume. I'm going to get it just in case. Right.
I love how like everybody ends up supporting and rallies around like the cause. Like, how can we make this look be fire?
Literally, it's the Friday or the day off, you get a random alert text from somebody. It's like, hey, does somebody have this?
Right.
And we're like, go to Goodwill right now.
It was really fun back in the day when Nobby's was still open to go to the Nobby's the day of Stash Bash, like the morning of. And you'd always see like 4 guys in mustaches just kind of wandering, looking around like shit. They don't have what I need.
But some of them, that's how you get some of those really good ones.
Yeah, and you run into one of your mustache brothers, and we have a greeting for one another where we say, "Hey, man, nice mustache."
You too, brother.
And so even if you haven't met the guy, he's a new guy, and you just see him out in the street, you'll say real loud. I'll try to do it like, down in the old market. Hey man, nice mustache.
You too, brother.
That's right.
There you go. You're ready,
And everybody turns and looks like, and none of us will have mustaches at the time. It'll be in the off season.
So what if people live like, let's say like an hour and a half, Sioux City or something? Can they still sign up and donate, or do they have to be at the events?
Corey, take this one.
No, they can donate. We do have some of the events we do online as well. Like Facebook Live, we'll do like the melee and things like that.
That's not why Corey needs to answer this question.
Why does Corey need to answer this question?
Corey moved to Michigan a few years ago and continued to grow
for Omaha.
What,
yeah.
3-4 years?
3 years, yeah. 3 years I lived out there. It was something like I wanted to continue to do. I mean, you don't have to be in Omaha to do it. It helps because you can go to the events. But if it's something that you believe in cause-wise, or you just want to continue, like I just wanted to continue to help my brothers and stuff out. So I just did it from Michigan, and I came down for key things like Stash Bash. Try to come down for those events,
and that kind of shows like a testament to like the community that it's become, and like the brotherhood and the bond, and that you're still even though you moved 10 hours away, you're still passionate about the cause.
When I came back, I think the last time too, while I was still living out there, I came back wearing an old man mask, and I didn't tell anybody I was going to come. They had no idea I was going to be there. And I'm wandering around, and I'm just kind of like getting into shit, and people are like, who the hell is this old guy? Do we need to kick him out of here? I mean, he's just weird. I think it took like 2 hours before somebody, and it was you that came up to me first, Brian. It was like, are you Corey?
That's that weirdo from Michigan, isn't it?
It's like, that guy's weird. That's Corey. It's got to be Corey. So.
I mainly asked that because, this podcast is worldwide now. So that's why I'm wondering if people like in different states or different countries or something that's like, I want to sign up and help, then they can do it.
Yeah, there's no requirement that you be in Omaha. There's no requirement that you come to any of the events. We'd like you to. It's more fun to come to the events, but you don't need to be here in person. We also have, Mustaches for Kids America has chapters around the country, and so there might be one near you. There's not a ton of them these days, but there's one in Orange County in California. There's one in Nashville that your brother's a part of.
Right.
Twin Cities. Look it up online. There might be one near you. Otherwise, come join Omaha.
For all the money that you raise in Omaha, does it stay here for Omaha charities?
It does. So each year we pick exclusively Omaha charities, or Nebraska, the surrounding area. Sometimes we'll pick charities that are part of a national group, but we really try to make sure that money is going to stay local. Right. Like we've had Special Olympics as one of our partners, but they do their fundraising locally, and so that money stayed local.
And what's some of the reaction like when you guys show up and like you're like, here's 10,000 for you, 10,000 for you? What's been like the feedback? Like, because that's got to be the best feeling.
It's incredible. I mean, some of these charities, the bonus charities we pick, the amount of money we give them keeps their doors open, or lets them build a building sometimes, lets them start a new program, lets them cut their waiting lists for support down to nothing. And Stash Bash, we're all having fun and goofing around. A lot of the charity partners are crying at the end of the night because they're so happy. So
right. And these aren't just random ones. I mean, they actually apply to get the dollars from us. Basically, the board, if you want to talk about that, the board reviews all of those applications.
Yeah, each year we get a bunch of applications. As the money got bigger, more people started applying. I think this year we had something like 43, 45 charities apply. And it's really the only thing that we take seriously the whole year is reviewing those applications. We take a deep dive into researching the charities, looking at what they plan to do with the money. And we have several meetings over a series of several weeks, and whittle it down to charities that we really want to help, we care about, and we think are going to help the Omaha community. And so there's a serious vetting process. As much as we're goofing around, we take that very, very seriously. So we're really proud of the charities we've picked this year. I don't think we've even talked about them. Sometimes we forget.
I was going to ask. I was like, have we named the charities yet, or did I miss that? Yeah. So let's talk about that. What charities is it that you guys are going for this year?
Yeah, so the big three that we selected are Partnership for Kids, Collective for Hope, and Diaper Bank, Nebraska Diaper Bank.
Okay.
And then we picked 4 smaller charities. Those are our bonus charities, as we call them. And we haven't really decided how we're going to give that money out, but Miss Amazing, help me out, guys.
Camp Quality.
Camp Quality.
Yeah.
Memories for Kids.
Memories for Kids was a great one.
And Dancing Beyond Limits.
Dancing Beyond Limits. Yeah.
So like the main 3, what are those charities exactly for?
Yeah, so Partnership for Kids is really at its heart, it's a mentorship program for kids in the public schools, mostly in OPS. Kids with at the low resource schools.
Okay.
Mentorship programs from elementary school, middle school, high school, with a goal of getting kids to graduate. Me and my wife have volunteered in the past as they call them goal buddies, where you go into the school during the day and sit down with your goal buddies and talk about what are your goals for math and reading and that kind of thing. And then like the middle school's got an after school program. My wife was actually goal buddy of the year one year.
Oh,
so
nice.
let's I got
Where's her traveling trophy blazer?
Let's see. Collective for Hope is grief counseling. You might have heard of Teddy Bear Hollow.
Yeah.
That's one of their kind of
Grief's Journey.
Yeah, there's 3 kind of subgroups within Collective for Hope. There's Teddy Bear Hollow, which is young kids that lose parents. Grief's Journey is for like preteen and teenagers. And then Healing Embrace is infant loss and pregnancy loss, that kind of grief counseling. And they want to use our money to kind of kick off a capital campaign to build the city's one and only grief center, grief counseling center.
Wow.
Teddy Bear Hollow was one of our early partners when we didn't raise nearly as much money, and then they switched to Grief's Journey. So we're kind of familiar with them. They're kind of an old friend of ours, as is the third charity partner, Nebraska Diaper Bank. They were one of our M4K8, and they were one of our bonus charities 2 years ago. Yeah. They used to be Lifehouse. They're now Nebraska Diaper Bank. They've gotten bigger, and this is the first time they're one of our main charity partners, so we're going to give them a bigger chunk of money. And they really just are supplying diapers for families in need.
Which is
never ending.
Huge.
Never ending, yeah.
Huge.
I have a couple kids. You got a couple kids. You know the diaper.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I think they provide for Omaha and the rest of Nebraska. It's based out of here. So it's, they're getting big.
Yeah, and with some more money, they can expand their partnerships and get those diapers to more families that need it.
That's awesome. Well, what you guys are doing are absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for coming on the Good Life Podcast. And the website, one more time, for people to sign up and join the cause.
It's m4komaha.com.
M4K Omaha. Yeah, so you guys do a lot of fun stuff. You guys do a lot of silly stuff, man. But hopefully you guys get the time to pat each other on the back, because you guys are freaking superheroes in Omaha for what you guys are doing, man. So
appreciate
thank you guys for what you do. That's awesome,
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
All the way. We're gonna fly out and run it wild
Until the midnight.